Welcome back to K-pop and Juice, where we spill it fresh, hot, juicy, and completely unfiltered. You already know the vibe. If it's shaking the K-entertainment world, we're diving straight into it with all the details, all the emotions, and all the tea you won't get anywhere else. And today is one of those stories that has fans screaming, debating, celebrating, and low-key stressing all at the same time. Because what happens when one of Korea's most beloved visuals, the prince of K-dramas, the face that launched 1,000 fan edits, Cha Eun Woo finds himself at the center of both a massive career explosion and a shocking controversy? Yeah, you guessed it. The internet is in chaos. Let's talk about the drama first, because wow, nobody saw this coming at this level. When news first dropped that Cha Eun Woo would be starring in a new drama, fans were excited, of course. But even the most loyal Arohas didn't expect what happened next. Within days of release, clips started circulating everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And suddenly everyone was saying the same thing. This is different. And when we say different, we mean different. Gone was the soft, dreamy, almost untouchable image we've grown used to. In its place, a deeper, more intense, emotionally layered version of Cha Eun Woo that honestly caught people off guard. Fans weren't just watching, they were feeling everything. The storyline itself? Addictive. Emotional. A roller coaster that keeps viewers glued to their screens. But let's be real, it's Cha Eun Woo's performance that's doing the heavy lifting here. There's a particular scene, if you've seen it, you know the one, where his character breaks down, and the camera lingers just long enough to capture every flicker of pain in his eyes. No dramatic music, no over-the-top acting, just raw emotion. And fans? Completely destroyed. Comments flooded in like, "I didn't know he could act like this." "Why am I crying at 2 a.m. because of Cha Eun Woo?" He just proved everyone wrong. Because let's be honest, there's always been that quiet conversation around him, right? The he's just a visual narrative. The whispers that maybe his looks overshadow his acting. Well, not anymore. This drama didn't just silence critics, it erased the conversation entirely. And the ratings? Through the roof. Each episode climbing higher, trending globally, pulling in viewers who weren't even K-drama fans before. It's the kind of breakout moment actors dream about, the kind that redefines a career. And suddenly, Cha Eun Woo isn't just that handsome idol actor. He's that actor. But just when everything seemed perfect, the story took a turn. Because in the middle of all this success, a completely different kind of headline started making its way across the internet. And it hit fans like a cold shock. Tax controversy. Yeah, nobody was ready for that. Reports began circulating online suggesting that Cha Eun Woo was somehow connected to a tax-related issue. The details were unclear at first, confusing, even contradictory. But that didn't stop the internet from doing what it does best: speculating. Within hours, social media turned into a battle. Immediately jumped to his defense. There's no way he'd do something like that. Wait for official statements before judging. This feels like misinformation. Others weren't so sure. And then came the think pieces, the analysis threads, the breakdowns of past interviews, financial habits, company affiliations. Everything was suddenly under a microscope. It's wild how fast things can flip, right? One moment, you're trending for your incredible acting. The next, you're trending for something completely different. But here's where things get interesting. As more information began to surface, it became clear that the situation might not be as straightforward as it first seemed. Sources hinted that it could involve accounting discrepancies, agency handling, or even misunderstandings in reporting, something that has happened before in the Korean entertainment industry. And that's the part people often forget. In K-entertainment, celebrities don't always directly handle their finances. Agencies, accountants, management teams, they're all involved. So when something like this comes up, it's not always black and white. But of course, nuance doesn't trend. Drama does. So while the truth was still unfolding, the public reaction continued to grow louder. Fans were torn. On one hand, they were celebrating the biggest acting moment of his career. On the other, they were worried, confused, anxious about what this could mean for his future. Because we've seen this before, haven't we? Scandals, real or misunderstood, have the power to completely shift public perception in Korea. Careers can rise overnight and fall just as fast. But here's the thing that makes this situation different. Cha Eun Woo's fan base? They're not backing down. If anything, they're doubling down. Support projects started popping up online, hashtags flooded timelines, fans began trending messages of encouragement, sharing clips from the drama, reminding everyone why they fell in love with him in the first place. And honestly, it's kind of powerful to watch, because it's not just blind loyalty. It's emotional investment. People have watched him grow, from a rookie idol in Astro to one of the most recognizable faces in Korean entertainment. They've seen his hard work, his consistency, his humility in interviews. So when something like this happens, it doesn't just feel like news. It feels personal. And while the controversy continues to be discussed, one thing hasn't changed. The drama is still dominating. Episodes keep trending. International fans keep discovering it. Reaction videos are everywhere. Even people who swore they wouldn't watch are now binging it late at night. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. And it raises a big question. Can a controversy overshadow a career-defining performance, or can an incredible performance outshine the controversy? Right now, it feels like we're watching that battle play out in real time. Some viewers are separating the art from the artist, focusing purely on the drama. Others are watching more closely than ever, analyzing every move, every statement, every update. And then there are those who are just waiting for clarity, waiting for the full story, waiting to see how this all unfolds. Because at the end of the day, the truth matters. And until it's fully clear, everything else is just noise. But let's zoom out for a second. Because beyond the drama and the controversy, this moment says something bigger about Cha Eun Woo as a public figure. He's no longer just a rising star. He's at that level where everything he does, on screen or off, has weight, impact, consequences. And that's a different kind of pressure, the kind that can either break someone or elevate them to an entirely new level. So the real question is, what happens next? Does his agency step in with a strong, clear statement that shuts everything down? Does the issue quietly fade away as more accurate information comes out? Or does it evolve into something bigger? At this point, nobody knows. But one thing is certain, all eyes are on him. Every move, every update, every episode release, it's all being watched more closely than ever before. And maybe, just maybe, this is the moment that defines the next chapter of his career. Because if there's one thing we've learned from the K-entertainment industry, it's this. The biggest stars aren't the ones who avoid storms. They're the ones who survive them. And right now, Cha Eun Woo is standing right in the middle of one. But even in the chaos, one image keeps coming back. That scene. That emotional breakdown in the drama. The one that made millions of fans stop, rewind, and feel something real. Because beyond the headlines, beyond the rumors, beyond the speculation, performance? That was undeniable. And maybe that's why fans are holding on so tightly, not just to the idol, not just to the visual, but to the artist they're finally seeing in full. So whether this moment becomes a setback or a turning point, one thing's for sure, the world is watching. And we'll be right here, bringing you every update, every twist, and every piece of the story as it unfolds. Because you already know, this is K-pop and juice, where the gist is always fresh, hot, juicy, and unfiltered. Stay tuned, stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next one.